Hey, and welcome everyone. So, some of you might be wondering, Yost, what's going on? Your 3D model seems to have fallen apart. Well, no, actually, we went the extra mile for the accuracy, and what you're looking at are the results of an actual 3D laser scan of the actual screen-used hero car of the 1989, and I just had to show it. I mean, just this first picture where you see I was right about this rear shell and the way it needs to be, the way these lines need to be, fanning out much more, the roundness and the angles here of the roof line, this much more curved. So again, going for the maximum accuracy, I just wanted to show you a couple of angles here to show you how very accurate we can now be with that actual 3D scan of the actual prop as a reference while we design and engineer our 6-scale model. I would say this angle shows it even better. I mean, at this point, the only difference you're seeing is lens distortions, really. If I zoom out a little bit just to show you how much a lens distortion can do, this is 70 millimeters versus 135 millimeters. So it's the way you have to look at the lines and the perspective. But I think you get the picture. So I got one of the technical drawings from the 1989 Batmobile and overlaid that on the 3D scan. You see they're pretty accurate, even though the technical drawing is not entirely correct. But the most important thing you see is here you see the canopy slid forward, but here you see the exact line, and here you see the opening, that line. It's all very, very close, especially the front and the length of the front angle. That shows a couple of the things that are very difficult to get right. So first of all is this interior, which on the other 6-scale model is way too aggressive. But the other thing that the experts will tell you is very hard to do is to get this, because this is a very compound curve that should, and this one should move out and shouldn't be too straight. And if you look at this, that's very much the same curve. Then of course the size of the front windows, that needs to be correct. This needs to be correct. So again, this is a treasure trove of accuracy here. So here's another angle, again barring any lens distortion between the two. You can see very much the same lines here, the same sizes of the windows and all that sort of thing. Back trying to match the angles as best as I can. You can see how this should flow down to very much near the exhaust, how these lines should flow with that little scoop here, these impressions here. So the roof line that needs to make this exact line, it's, well, of course, since it's a scan of the actual vehicle, you can see how very, very, very close we're going to be. With this final shot, again, having shown you how much lens distortion and angles can mess it up, you can really see how close these two are. Well, they're probably the exact same vehicle, even though they did make a couple for the show. But I want to draw your attention to, well, what I've been saying all along. This nose cone needs to be drooping down just like this one does. And then there's so many really organic shapes. This is not an exact round curve. These curves are all kinds of, well, I would almost say random, just like here, you know, it's this shape is different from this shape, It's all handmade stuff, right? And then again, this very complex compound curve, if you look at it head on, it moves in several directions on the side as well. So, you know, I'm just very happy that we can get to nail this in terms of both the exact scale, size, and, you know, the dimensions and the inner ratios between the front and the rest of the body and everything. So yeah, I'm very excited. It will slow us down a little bit because we were already very far into the modeling when we got this 3D scan arranged, when it looked like we weren't going to get that arranged for the longest time. But well, it pays to have some context within Warner Brothers who finally came through. So up until the next video, and some very exciting progress, as you may have seen.